you by Progressive Insurance. A grand slam for your budget. Visit Progressive.com. By Chaz Roberts, serving you since 42. By Talking Stick Resort, Playcation is back. Stay and play with rates as low as $129. By Trajan Wealth. Call Trajan Wealth today and get your game plan. And by Sanderson Ford. For the best play on a new vehicle, choose Sanderson Ford. Bundled up at Citi Field. The cold temperatures are back, but the winds have died down. It's still a little breezy down there. Feels like 41 is going to get a whole lot colder by the time we're done here. Josh Colementor.
You can feel the cold already, but thank goodness for the wind. Big reason they moved up each of the games, but that wind was really doing things on the field yesterday. Not quite as much today. Hopefully that helps the D-backs offense a little bit.
That's our multi-proof roof solutions.
D-backs offense a little bit.
That's our multi-proof roof solutions weather report as we keep rolling along here with David Peterson on the mound for the Mets. He's your New York starter today, and he's a former Oregon Duck, just like his opponent Ryan Nelson.
Taken in the first round out of Oregon. They overlapped for a season up there and had a really good first start. He had 9 hits and 6 runs his last time out. In fact, the last time the Mets lost was when he was on the mound in San Francisco.
Peterson, an all-star last year, the longest tenured Met on the roster, as we get a look around the diamond at the New York defense.
Same lineup, same positions as yesterday. Lindor probably busy over there. He doesn't throw a lot of velocity and a lot of changeups. Look for the right side to get hit.
Chris Siegel, our plate umpire, calling balls and strikes, and we're underway with Ketel Marte. Ketel, 209 with a home run in the leadoff spot. Ketel had a pair of singles in last night's opener after he doubled twice in Sunday's win over the Braves at Chase, including one for the walk-off winner. David Peterson started the second game of the year for the Mets and pitched quite well here, 5 1/3 scoreless against the Pirates. But he got blown up by the Giants at San Francisco in his previous outing. That was last Thursday. As he gets the changeup, and Marte chases.
You had mentioned that they're chasing way too much. Uncharacteristic for Marte. But look how far off the plate this one is. Starts away, finishes further away, still offers at it.
Yeah, the chase rate for the club top to bottom is way up than it was last year. A team that's always very patient, takes a lot of walks. That's not been the case this year. Corbin Carroll bats second. The 500th career game in the major leagues for Corbin Carroll. 297. He's tripled twice and homered twice with 9 RBIs. Corbin is the first player in major league history to accumulate at least 80 home runs, 120 steals, and 40 triples in his first 500 games. No one has ever done that before.
Quite the combination of speed and power. All the speed right there to get out of that one, up and in.
That's a 4-seam fastball from Peterson. How did that not hit him? Off the tip of the glove of Alvarez back there. Corbin will take a moment to gather his thoughts.
Home plate umpire giving him an extra second as well.
Give him an extra 2 seconds after that.
He had to pick up everything. Helmet, bat, himself.
Got undressed. 2 balls and a strike. Corbin hits it pretty deep left center. Robert is on the move and he won't get there. Benj barehands it off the wall but drops it, and Corbin thought about third. He'll stop at second with 1 out. That's a double for Carroll as he splits the gap in left center.
So we saw the first sinker way up and in. He tries to come back with the sinker again and just throws it right down the middle. Oh, Carroll stays locked in after getting flipped around. Yeah.
Remember, it was Corbin's 2-out single in the 5th yesterday that ignited that 2-out rally that gave them the lead. Coming off the 3-hit game Sunday in the win over Atlanta. He's at second with 1 out for Geraldo Perdomo. This is the bat they really need to get going, especially batting third. Jerry at a $162 in 11 games. But despite his struggles for hits, he has stayed patient with his at-bats. Did that in the 5th inning yesterday. Worked a 2-out walk in that big inning. But the base hits have dried up. He is 1 for 18 in his 6 games in April.
Hasn't strayed, which is a great sign, sticking with that patient approach, but he's in the 3-hole for a reason. 100 RBIs last year. They want to see that production this one as well.
Up in an RBI spot right here to start the game. Shows bunt and gets it down. It's by Peterson, and they'll have no play. Perdomo with a bunt base hit. Perfectly placed by Jerry.
And the Swiss Army knife in the 3-hole. You don't see a 3-hole guy drop down a bunt very often, but sees the defense playing back, and once you get it by the pitcher, you can coast into first base.
That's exactly what happened. And Peterson fields his position very well. He was a Gold Glove finalist last year, in fact, like a lot of sinker ball artists. So it's first and third, 1 out for Gabriel Moreno.
Had to be even more perfect. Peterson falls off to that third base side. The lefty naturally does.
Good call.
Still got it behind.
Gabby still in the cleanup spot. He was on base throughout the game yesterday. Blasts it the other way. A line drive at Beatty. Corbin will tag. Perdomo stays put. The RBI for Gabby, and the Diamondbacks strike first.
Give an assisted RBI to Perdomo, just getting this guy over to third base. And the inning continues, but a job well done by Moreno. And a great sign when he hits the ball that way, huh, Steve?
That's perfectly what you're looking for. Time now, Josh, for your Jeep keys to the game.
Well, they've done a good job in the first. Just get on base. That walk rate we saw way down. They just need to get guys on base, put pressure on the pitching staff, and cut them up. It's going to be cutters and sliders again to this lineup.
Nolan Arenado, the bat starting to make a little bit more noise. Run home. Perdomo at first with 2 outs. Arenado at .229 now in his first 10 games as a Diamondback. He has hit in 6 of his last 7. Mentioned a moment ago Peterson's rough outing last week at San Francisco. 5 earned runs, 9 hits in only 4 1/3. Gave up a lot of loud contact as the Giants hitters went after him very early in counts. Nearly all the San Francisco hitters put one of the first 3 pitches in the at-bat into play. So if you're going to get to him early in the AB.
As a sinker baller, you want to throw strikes a lot early. Try to get weak contact off the end of the bat, and this is a right-handed dominant lineup that these D-backs throw out there against lefties.
Yeah, it went downhill for Peterson pretty quickly at Oracle Park last week. The changeup, Nolan won't bite, and it's 3-1. Eldemaro Vargas at second base today with Marte the DH is the on-deck hitter. Carlos Mendoza the skipper, Kai Correa the bench coach. Arenado hits the 3-1 in the hole. Lindor plants and throws. Long throw. And they're able to get Arenado. But the Diamondbacks get Ryan Nelson an early run here at Citi Field in New York. Back with you from New York. Steve Berthume, Josh Colmenter, Jody Jackson along the way. Your Y-Refi starting pitcher stats for the right-hander Ryan Nelson. Through 2 starts, he has allowed only 5 hits, but 4 of those hits are home runs.
All 4 of them against that fastball. And he's perfected the slider, but that fastball still has to be his most dominant pitch.
He's up against a high-scoring Mets lineup. They've won 4 straight since Juan Soto left the game on Friday with a calf strain and landed on the injured list. They've been going on all cylinders even without Soto, and Lindor looks at a strike to get it started in the home half of the first. They're trying to get Lindor started. 167 in 11 games this year. But he has been patient to start the season. More walks than strikeouts. Had a good day here yesterday. Lindor singled, doubled, scored twice from the Mets leadoff spot. And we'll get a challenge. Well, I haven't got the mic working with Brian Honora yesterday or Chris Siegel today. This is brought to us by T-Mobile. And here's the challenge.
Arizona has 2 challenges remaining.
Moreno really getting more comfortable with that. Easy to judge on a fastball too.
Well, if you're going to challenge 2 pitches into the game, you had better be right. And Lindor will take time.
That had to be the exact thought in Torrey's head. Moreno, that one better be a strike.
Torrey has told us the motto is, if we know, we go. And Gabby knew. So now they go 2. There's the high fastball at 97. That's the big weapon, as we know, from Brian Nelson.
And the first strikeout on a fastball for him, that's what we saw so often last year. When he gets strikeouts with the fastball, it's high octane and in a high location like that.
He can just bully the opposing hitters up there with that pitch. It has been getting hit a lot harder this year than it was last year, but we're only 2 starts in. And now it's Bo Bichette. Got the fastball by him at 96, a 200 average for Bichette, who came over from the Blue Jays, a big signee this winter. 3 years, $126 million after 7 seasons in Toronto. High fly ball out to right center. Barossa is there, and Jorge's got it for a routine second up. As we get a look at the Diamondback defense, that's presented by CarShield.
A few different ones around there with Vargas and Fernandez, won all the right-handed bats, and Barossa out there in center field. And when he moved over there late in the game, made at the time a game-saving catch sliding in the outfield, and he's going to man center field against lefties. And against Peterson, if you got some left-hand bats on the bench to start, Alec Thomas and Adrian Del Castillo. 2 down for the DH for the Mets. It's the veteran Jorge Polanco. Another free agent signee, hitting just over .220 in 9 games as a Met. Singled twice yesterday, his second straight 2-hit game. It'll be interesting to see the way Nelly goes after Polanco in particular. A guy that can slug fastballs, and the Diamondbacks followed the same pattern yesterday that a lot of teams have used to pitch to Polanco, which is a steady diet of off-speed stuff. Helps too if you can get ahead, then you can really go to that off-speed stuff. Finds himself behind 2-0. He's missed with 2 fastballs. Tied him up upstairs with that one. He went up there and just handcuffed him that time. This is, I'm looking for a fastball. I'm going to swing, and then, oh my goodness, it's not the one I want. But a good sign for Nelson. That's 3 balls up above the zone. 2 swings and misses and a flyout. If you're trying to get that pitch up there, there's the curveball, and you miss. It can get ugly, as we saw with Paul Sewald in that walk-off yesterday. Paul was trying to get it above the belt, missed middle, and Mets walked it off. 3-1 on Polanco. We'll see if this will stay playable for Fernandez. Foul ground. Vargas drifting over there. Ildemaro's got it. And a good start for Ryan Nelson. A 1-2-3 first. And after 1 in New York, it's 1-0 Diamondbacks. Oh, the Dan Lonke fan club. High fives in the house here at Citi Field. Our producer apparently scored some extra tickets. Nice going, Danny. You can score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. Official jerseys and memorabilia, hats, hoodies, the whole thing. They've got you covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Diamondbacks. That's the place to get your official D-backs gear. When you're a producer of a big-time TV operation like this, you can get your buddies in the ballpark, get them on TV. He's gone crazy with power. Ildemaro Vargas fouls that one away. Vargas off to a sensational start. He's at second base today. 7 for 16 in 5 games with a double, a triple, and a home run. He's knocked in 4. He's hit safely in all 5 games in which he's played. So you have got to get with this offense still scuffling. Vargas in the lineup at this point, especially against the lefty. Look at that. He splits the difference between Bichette and Lindor, and Ildemaro has another hit. It's a base hit to lead off the second. Everything seems to be going his way. He's making stuff happen, whether it's at the plate, in the field. The ball finds him at first base. I'm sure it'll find him at second base, as that pop-up did. But this is going to be where a lot of hits happen to the pull side with that sinker and the changeup. Change up there for a single.
3 hits through the first 6 batters against Peterson. This is what happened to him last week against the Giants at San Francisco. First baseman is the right-hand bat of Jose Fernandez. Jose 4 for 16, couple of home runs. He's knocked in 4. Just 6 games into his major league career, 22 years old. Takes a look at a curveball. And Jose in those 6 games, which is kind of amazing to think about it. He's already played third base, first base, shortstop, DH. He's been a pinch hitter and he's been a pinch runner. Although he didn't get to do much running in the top of the 10th yesterday, unfortunately. Changeup. Spits on that one. It's ball 2.
They've lauded this kid for his makeup. He's not too big for the moment wherever they put him.
Torrey was telling us today the thing that's impressed him most about Fernandez is the questions he asks. It's the baseball IQ, which is unnaturally high, especially for a 22-year-old rookie.
Pair that with the talent, and no wonder he rocketed through the system and just had an unbelievable spring that really put him on Torrey and everyone's radar.
Chris Slivka, the D-backs director of player development, has pointed out that with Jose, you see the tools, the things, and they're loud: arm strength, foot speed, power. He's a lot quicker and faster than Torrey first thought he was. Found out that today as well. It's 2-2. But it's those things that go unseen again that have stood out. His understanding of the game, how to do little things that they value as an organization, running the bases, moving runners, those instinctual things. And they're thrilled with the way that Jose processes the game. And we've seen that for the most part translate on the field. It's full 3-2.
And at bats like this help too. They try to hammer the stuff they want you to do at the major league level all the way through.
Consistency, right?
Yeah, and so this is a kid that's listened to that, taken it off, and pair that with the talent.
He's a product of the system. Foot race is on. It's by Peterson. Bichette, bare hands from third, and Jose safe. Well, Perdomo had the perfect bunt over there. Fernandez with the full swing wasn't that much far off.
And you said he fields his position well. Gets by him again, though, and Bichette coming in bare hand, all for nothing, and just legs it out. There's that foot speed.
Yep. The big, tall guy. He's 6'3", so he's got those long strides. But Peterson, a Gold Glove finalist last year, had another one get by him. So the first 2 aboard, ahead of Tim Tawa. Diamondbacks already with 4 hits through 7 batters. Tawa squares, and that stays fair. It just it's stuck on that line and checked up beautifully. And there was no other play but to first base.
Maybe a higher chalk line. No one's messed with the chalk right there.
Kept waiting for it to roll
it
foul,
as a bumper.
Josh.
Same.
Yeah, nothing they could do. Got to take advantage of these situations. Boy, that couldn't have checked up any better.
And somehow bunted that with no side spin, all backspin. Got it to check up there like a golf shot.
Barossa can make it a 3-0 lead with a base hit. And we have to have a communication situation. Oh, it's a timer violation. An automatic ball.
Catcher Alvarez was trying to get out there in time, I think, to avoid that.
Yeah, you'll burn a mound visit in those situations if you're the catcher to avoid the violation, but it was too late. So Jorge starts with a 1-0 count. Corners creeping in for the Mets. Barossa 3 for 16. He's played 5 games. Executed, remember, speaking of bunts, a perfect sac bunt in the second inning here yesterday. And then made that spectacular sliding catch in the warning track in the game's final moments.
I still can't believe how far he ran for that one. I mean, it was over 100 feet and a sliding catch at the wall.
Talk so much about Alec Thomas and the development of Jordan Lawler as an outfielder, we tend to overlook, and it's a shame, how good a center fielder, a defensive outfielder, is Jorge Barossa. 3 balls and a strike. And the bases are loaded. Barossa stays patient, takes the walk, turns the lineup card over for Ketel.
Hey fans, if the D-backs hit a home run, you score a free Jumbo Jack at Jack in the Box. Purchase of a large drink.
That would be a perfect time. Justin Willard, the pitching coach, out to the mound to talk to Peterson, who's worked himself into a base loaded 1-out jam. Diamondbacks so far through 9 batters, 3 singles, a double, and a base on balls, not to mention the sac fly RBI for Gabby. And a big chance here for Ketel, who struck out to start the game.
Ketel's seen the changeup now, and no doubt he's going to try to get something on the ground, just to try to trade 2 outs for a run.
Remember, Peterson is not a strikeout pitcher. Last year, a 55% ground ball rate. It's up even higher this year so far. And so he's always, especially in a situation like this, looking for a ground ball double play.
This is where Ketel could just rip one through the left side. Got the bat speed to do it.
Base hit for Marte. Vargas will score. They'll stop Fernandez at third. The RBI for Ketel, and it's 2-0 Diamondbacks.
Instead, he just abandons anything trying to roll this ball over. You get a sinker, you want to go the other way. Well, what does Ketel do? Gets an elevated sinker and just rips it into right field.
Really got the feeling they have Peterson on the ropes. They're just looking for that one big swing that might deliver an early knockout punch. It's Corbin Carroll, who doubled and scored in the first. And Corbin jumps on the first one and knocks it into right center. Jose Fernandez scored. Barossa coming in right behind. Corbin Carroll with a 2-run double, and it's 4-0.
Peterson has to feel like he's in San Francisco all over again.
Exact same plan, and the Boo Birds are out in Queens.
Even tried something different there with a curveball, but again in the strike zone. Carroll waits back enough to throw it in the gap. And you mentioned all the action was happening early for those Giants, and the D-backs are following suit. That's 2 hits on 2 straight pitches.
All but one of the balls hit into play by the Giants against Peterson last week came in the first 3 pitches, and Perdomo chases the first one. Corbin Carroll in his 500th career game has doubled twice and so far knocked in 2 runs. Jerry had a perfect textbook bunt base hit his first time up.
And for a pitcher who doesn't strike out a lot of guys, it's so hard to strike out Perdomo. Doesn't matter if he's in an 0-2 hole.
Does an offer out there. Perdomo hit safely in all 3 games in LA, but since then he's only 3 for 26, and over that stretch has not struck out. To your point, he's going to put the ball in play. Just like that, line to center. Robert has it. Here comes Ketel. RBI for Jerry, and a 5-0 Diamondback lead in the second.
Productive out. I mean, there's been so many productive outs. 2 sac flies already. Not even sac flies, sac line outs. Yeah. Even those balls have been hit hard.
Big crooked number early for the Diamondbacks. And they're still going. Carroll at second. It's a 4-run second so far, a 5-0 lead. And here's Gabby, who drove in the game's first run with a sac line out in the first. Moreno, the 8th man to bat, and the Diamondbacks second.
This was the game plan we threw out there yesterday. Have the bottom of the order get on, and the top drive them in. RBI for Ketel, 2 for Marte, 1 there for Perdomo.
Yeah, the 6 through 9 guys getting it done from a standpoint of getting it done. Vargas singled, Fernandez singled, Towel with a sac bunt, Barossa the walk to load the bases, and they've got 4 runs home in the inning. RBIs for the big 3, Marte, Carroll, and Perdomo. 0-2 on Moreno. Peterson at 40 pitches now through 1 2/3. And he got him on a changeup. Diamondbacks send 8 men to the plate in the second. 4 come home for a 5-0 lead.
To try Nelson no better than in the first at bat. 3 straight fastballs, including 1 overturned.
Wow.
Finally gets his first fastball strikeout, and that's what he used to do. You're used to that bullying attitude with the fastball.
StatCast presented by Google Cloud. In, away, up. See you later. And Nelly now with a 5-0 lead is coming off a 10-pitch first and will face Luis Robert Jr. to start the New York second. But to our point earlier at the top of the show, as good as that looks and as effective as it's been, don't want to be too reliant on the fastball.
This is what he did last year, and now he's got that new shiny new toy, the slider, and wants to use it a lot. But he can still get outs with the fastball. He has to remind himself of that.
He's given up only 5 hits all year. 4 are home runs, all 4 coming on that fastball, so you got to be careful. And Roberts off to a good start, 313 with a home run in his first 10 games as a Met. And somewhere down there in a lovely green warm coat is Jody Jackson.
Yes, trying to stay warm. And, you know, you're right. The fastball is the key pitch for Ryan Nelson. But talking to pitching coach Brian Kaplan, he said he does like the way he's been mixing it up, but he does have to mix in all of his pitches, including that slider. But he did tell me he's throwing harder this year. The slider is better. Against the Dodgers, for example, he felt like he had to make the perfect pitch. He kind of took me into the mind of Ryan Nelson. And so we saw what happened. It was homer, walk, walk, homer. And trying to make the perfect pitch is really his worst. He's his own worst enemy right now, is what Brian Kaplan was telling me, guys.
Well, Jody, he got Robert, Josh Cole mentioned, to look at a 4-seam fastball for his second strikeout.
And Robert had no idea what was coming after he threw fastball for a strike, slider for a strike, which is huge, and he was caught in no man's land.
A right fielder is Brett Beatty, who's off to a good start for the Mets this year. 82-50. He's hit in 7 of his 9 games. Still dealing with that jam left thumb that was painful enough to have to sit out a game over the weekend at San Francisco. Well, so far over 2 starts, Ryan Nelson has thrown that 4-seam fastball roughly 53% of the time. That's down from 62% last season. So we are seeing sizable jumps with both the slider and the curveball. But the fastball, there it is again, has no doubt been the big weapon so far today.
Especially on a colder day, if you can move that around the zone. He's been up in the zone and he's been throwing it for strikes at the bottom. It almost works as 2 different pitches then.
Why is it 2 different pitches based on location?
You're throwing it for strikes, so guys have to be honest about that. Then all of a sudden you have a strikeout fastball above the zone where guys can't catch up to it. And once you can throw both pitches, 1 for a strike, 1 not for a strike, you're going to get guys to take it and swing through it.
Is that where you're under the heading of force them to make a decision?
That's exactly right. And you have to decide. Up top, there's not much you can do, but guys still swing. At the bottom, you have to decide, is that a fastball that's going to level out in the zone, or is that a slider that's there and then gone? And you have to make that so quick.
I was going to say, that's a lot of thinking in a very short period of time. 2-2 on Brett Beatty. That's something that Zach Gallen has talked about. Force the opposing hitter to make a decision quickly, and then it's too late.
And Zach's been doing that brilliantly. I think Nelson's starting to follow that. We saw the fastball usage down a little bit, means he can use some of the other stuff. Zach's been doing that well.
Trying to put Beatty away in a 2-2 count. He's putting up a fight here. Ryan Nelson, in his 4 career starts against the Mets, has never beaten New York. He's not had luck with these guys. 0-3 in 4 starts. And in 18 innings coming into today, he'd given up 17 earned runs. So he's really had a tough time with New York. But he's got an early 5-0 lead. 96 missed, and Beatty battling here. It's a full count, 3-2. Mark Vientos on deck.
7 straight 4-seam fastballs. Something Nelson usually could do, keep him in the zone.
He's thrown nothing but fastballs to Beatty. And there's one more. Off the bag. Look at Jose Fernandez, and Nelson can't find the ball or the bag. They had the out, but Beatty's aboard.
And Fernandez being very aggressive. He has Vargas coming behind him, who could probably have fielded it. But instead, he gets it. Watch this flip just a little bit as he throws it to the moving target. Nelson, you want to lead him. He's got to be out in front of him. He gets it behind, and because of that, eye off the ball ever so slightly, trying to find first base.
Keep in mind that Fernandez has barely played any first base at all. He's a great athlete. They feel good about him down there. But he was a shortstop in the minor leagues primarily. Played a little bit of first base, but started over 100 games at short in Double-A last year. So it's a relatively new spot for him. Vientos now. The Met first baseman takes a slider for a strike.
I know they've been getting him a lot of reps ground ball wise over there. I think they're going to mix that play in.
Yeah.
The toss.
It sounded like he was running a whole lot of PFPs in spring training.
Exactly. Yeah.
They give Nelly the error, E1. Missed catch error by pitcher Ryan Nelson. Puts Beatty at first with 1 out. I hate to say it, but Beatty kind of earned that with a tough at bat. Four-seamers by him. It's 0-2.
Yeah. Battled on all 8 fastballs, and then it's burning the top of the zone, and that's where Moreno will put his glove too. Wants it up there.
Boy, that is the weapon du jour for Ryan Nelson. And he is bullying some of these Mets hitters. We've talked so much about the secondaries. Oh, he's got to throw his curveball. He's got to throw his slider. He's just blowing these guys away with fastballs.
And it helps too in these outings. He got Robert. He threw a slider for a strike, so he had no idea what was coming. Here, he drops a slider for a strike, then blows him away with 2 fastballs.
Second baseman, the veteran Marcus Semien. 231 his first season with New York. We got a challenge here.
Previous pitch was really ball, but catcher's challenging.
Chris Siegel is the plate umpire. T-Mobile brings us our look at the ABS. Automated balls and strikes.
2 for 2 for Moreno. And pitch framing, he's always so good at the bottom of the zone and hasn't changed in judging where the strike zone is down there.
If we know, we go. Gabby's gone twice. He's 2 for 2. Little comebacker. Nelly's got it. Cool as a cucumber out there. They strand Beatty at first base, and we head to the third in New York with a 5-0 lead.
I'm battling up there, you know, just trying to find a way to help the team win. You know, I think, you know, there's, yeah, I don't know. That's the best way I could put it for right now. You know, just trying to find a way to sneak a hit here and there and help these guys get on base and, you know, let them drive me in. But, you know, I believe that a better feeling is coming.
Well, that's exactly what he did yesterday, guys. Of course, he dropped one into shallow center, and that third run came across. D-backs had the lead at the time. He is starting to warm up at the plate. Nolan made a lot of adjustments in the offseason, but talking to him, he doesn't like to do a lot of that tweaking during the season. So he's sticking with the process, but he does feel better and better each day at the plate after a slow start in those first few games.
Well, you know, that sounds pretty good, you know. Nolan is turning it around. He's hit in 6 of 7. Grounded out his first time up today. But had a pair of hits, as Jody mentioned, that go-ahead bloop double in that 3-run fifth. RBIs now form in consecutive games. And the thing that impressed me, Josh, about Arenado yesterday, we watched him do this for, what, 13 years? Tracking down those wind-blown pop-up plays. And on a day like yesterday with the wind and the sun and the shadow and the cold, plays like that often get overlooked. They should not go unnoticed yesterday.
Especially to make him in a basket catch. He's not underneath it with his glove up seeing it. He's just
on the
feeling
run
for the ball. Yeah.
Pop this up near the Met dugout. 3 Mets collide on it, and Vientos clanks it off the glove. Speaking of pop-ups, they should not go unnoticed or taken for granted. Not in these conditions.
Not at all. Good thing Arenado's not playing defense against himself. He would have caught that one.
You know, you're right.
But watch right at the end. Vientos kind of sidesteps Peterson. He knows he's there. Doesn't know exactly where he's there. So he tries to catch this one sideways. and right out of the glove.
That's a look courtesy of Y Refi. Arenado now second life, still with a 3-2 count. And warmed down with a curveball. Third strikeout for Peterson.
These counts where you're expecting a fastball, full counts, or 2-0, 2-1 counts, it's a curveball or a changeup. You know, it doesn't have that velocity to necessarily throw fastballs in those counts.
He's not a hard thrower. He's a sinker ball, ground ball pitcher type, as we mentioned. The red hot Ildemaro Vargas, who has begun this season 8 for 17 at the plate. He singled and scored to start that 4-run D-backs second. He has it safely in all 6 games this year. Another pop up. Here we go again. Vientos on the run. Alvarez coming in as well. And a sarcastic round of applause from Met Nation. They're on their feet here in Queens.
Pitcher bailed him out with a strikeout. And Vientos a great job playing to the crowd.
Yeah, good on him. That was fun.
Watch him go to 2 hands on this one. That one, and he's not going to drop a second one.
Can you imagine? Everybody up. Make some noise. Jose Fernandez. Well, that missed somewhere a fastball. Jose had a swing and bunt single and scored in that 4-run second. He's at first base today. Uh-oh. Can it be one more time? Vientos again near the dugout, and this one's going to go in the seats. Yeah, you catch it. See how easy it is.
Just progressively harder on the challenge scale. I thought he'd have to fall over into the dugout, make that catch.
Brought to you by Progressive. Kind of picked his head up on that curveball. That might be a pitch that Peterson starts to get some feel for here. That curve, he's getting some swing and miss with it.
Locating it well. It's got to be bottom of the zone. You can't leave that one hanging. That ball gets hit hard.
Peterson was an all-star last year for the Mets. He is the longest tenured player on their roster, now 30 years old. A first-round pick by New York out of Oregon back in 2017. He's from Aurora, Colorado. Fernandez making a nuisance of himself. Peterson pointed out this spring, not only is he now the longest tenured Met player on the roster, he's the last org product that debuted in the Wilpon era, as it's known here. He said everybody else came in the Cohen era after Steve Cohen bought the club late in 2020. Slider swing and miss. 2 strikeouts and a 1-2-3 third for David Peterson, but he trails at 5-0. Back offense getting aggressive early in counts in that second against David Peterson.
That was the recipe for the Giants in his last time out. Gave up 6 runs on 9 hits and a big second inning. A lot of early swings back to back to the tune of 3 RBI for Marte and Carroll. And then Perdomo picking up another one with a sac line out.
Peterson has settled down a bit. He's retired 5 in a row, had a 1-2-3 third, but he's thrown 55 pitches through 3. 4 of the Diamondbacks' 6 hits today have been on 3 or fewer pitches. Exactly what the Giants did to Peterson last week. Aggressive early in counts. Carson Benj, the rookie, leads off the New York third against Ryan Nelson. Elliott 26 pitches through 2, 20 strikes. He's punched out 3. And now faces Benj, the left fielder. Benj, a rookie, 3 for 33 in his first 10 big league games. Shallow center, Barrosa's got it. Jorge Barrosa with a rolling sliding grab in shallow center.
It doesn't matter where he's sliding. If it's on the dirt, if it's on the grass, it's coming up in the glove and sells out for it. A sprawling grab. Hey, don't need this ball here. You take it.
It's a situation the Diamondbacks are lucky enough to be in it that if you ask three people, you know, who's the better defensive center fielder, Thomas, Lawler, Barossa, you might get three different answers.
Torrey talked about he likes these athletes around the diamond. Well, they have athletes in the outfield and they have athletes can play all the different infield positions.
Francisco Alvarez, the catcher, bats ninth. That's a term, Josh, that you hear more and more evaluators use, and I'm guessing you didn't hear it at all in the 70s or 80s, but you'll hear guys say, you know what I like about that player, that kid, I like the athleticism. People now win with athleticism in this game.
They really do. Once you can quantify taking away runs, adding on the base paths with speed, it comes up in a lot more ways than you would think.
That's not just the big, slow, big, hairy guys, as Buck Showalter used to say, hitting home runs. It's a different game now. Careful with Alvarez. He leads the Mets with 3 homers this year. He's hit in 4 straight. He walked, singled, and scored from the 9th spot of the game here yesterday. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
Along that athlete line, so many teams now with the right-handed lineup, the left-handed lineup, you need guys that can play multiple positions just based on the way they swing the bat.
And switch hitting doesn't hurt either. Hard to short, a bouncer for Perdomo. And an easy play for the second out. So Nelson, once through the lineup here, 1 through 9, is yet to give up a base hit. 2 down for Lindor, who struck out to start the game for New York.
This is what Ryan Nelson looked like most of last year and the year before. A ton of strikes, and that was why the first 2 starts were so uncharacteristic. The home runs, but the 6 walks. He hardly walks a guy.
Coming right at these guys. There's strike 1. Lindor yesterday had a single, a double. He scored twice. But in his last 8 games, counting today, he's only 4 for 29. So his bat is yet to come around this year. And he's not homered. He's had 3 straight seasons, Lindor, of at least 31 home runs. But he has a 0 in the home run column so far today.
That bat could be slower. It took Carroll a little bit to get going. They both suffered that hamate injury.
Had the surgery on the same day, coincidentally, February 11th. 0-2. Lindor, 3rd in the National League in runs, 5th in the league in hits last season. 31 home runs and 31 steals. What a player. A 5-time All-Star. He's won 4 Silver Sluggers, a couple of Gold Gloves, and a Platinum Glove back in his Cleveland days. Once more for Arenado. Nolan with the mask up near the seats, and Arenado can't quite get to that one. That's a no play.
Running a long way for that one, and the wall is always further than you think it is, and you see him. But again, this is back-to-back pitches. Lindor trying not to get struck out on that high fastball. Swung through that pitch the first at bat.
There's Nolan, and maybe another half step, but we don't want anybody going over the top rope down there. This will stay in the yard, we think. Vargas is over there in foul ground, and he's got it. And Ryan Nelson is rolling. He's set down 5 in a row, has a 5-0 lead. It's the Diamondbacks Baseball Network, and it's presented by Progressive. Like to be Mets rookie Carson Benj. In his last at bat last night, he thinks he's got a sure gap double here, but Barossa comes to steal this one. And then in his first at bat today, well, surely he's not going to get to this one. This is a blue base hit into center, but once more, it's Jorge Barossa taking a base hit away against Carson Benj on a sliding rolling grab.
They both started in left field, but it's been Barossa in center field disrespecting the Mets left fielder.
Tim Tawa looks at strike 1 from David Peterson, who has settled down a bit. He's retired 5 in a row. And he has, in fact, struck out 3 of the last 4 batters he's faced, but he's down 5-0. That's on a plate. It's 0-2. Tawa dropped down a spectacular sacrifice bunt his first time up that checked up about a millimeter off the line and just stayed there beautifully. I don't think you could do that again if you gave him another 100 tries.
Probably not.
Amazing.
The fact that it didn't have any spin on it at all to kick it foul.
Tawa hits it to short, backhanded by Lindor. Quick throw, one hop, and Vientos able to keep a foot on the bag. As we get this message from our buddy Tim Hovick at Santan Ford.
Man, these are some great seats.
They're your seats, Tim.
Oh, I guess that explains it.
No, they're your seats, Tim. No, they're your seats, Tim. They're your seats, Tim. Torrey said it took like 9 takes for him to get that right. I mean, Hovick's carrying the ball for that whole comedy duo. He's got to do all the work. Here is Barossa. Had a terrific patient at bat. Worked a walk in the second. Turned the lineup card over for Marte and Carroll, who both followed with RBI hits in that 4-run second.
A great point. Probably unnoticed, but walk to the 9-man. And then you get the 3 at the top. 4 RBIs in a matter of seconds.
Remember that walk to the 9-man in the second last night came back to bite Zach Gallen when Lindor stepped up and doubled. On the ground to third, Bo Bichette. Doesn't look like Bo Bichette, who's been a shortstop his whole career in Toronto, is having all that much difficulty with third base so far. Obviously, we haven't seen him play all year, but so far so good in this series.
Yeah, this series he'll get more and more comfortable over there as well. He's learned the angles. He's still got to field it with the glove, but ball comes to you a little quicker, and then a longer throw across the diamond.
7 straight set down by Peterson, who has settled down. A couple of ground ball outs for this ground ball specialist. And the batter is Ketel Marte, who was struck out. He's got an RBI single. Once more, a one hopper for Lindor. And Peterson, the sinker baller, has 3 ground ball outs and a 1-2-3 4th. He's retired 8 straight. But in New York, it's 5-0 Diamondbacks. Here's a look around the league by Bet365. Jorge Soler against Ronaldo Lopez in LA last night. And Soler is coming out. And this is Josh Colmenter. These are some heavyweight haymakers coming from Jorge Soler.
I didn't know Angel Stadium was hosting a boxing fight, but it turned into one. Even the manager, Walt Weiss, got in there with a form tackle.
Walt Weiss is a black belt in karate. I mean, that's not a joke. He really is. And so Walt Weiss got in there, did some Karate Kid stuff, and broke it up. Sweep the leg. Bo Bichette starts off the 4th against Ryan Nelson, who's retired 5 in a row. He's not given up a hit. 37 pitches through 3 for Nelly, 30 strikes, and he leads at 5-0. So I'm guessing fines and suspensions to follow from that. Braves and Angels last night in LA. Bichette hard up the middle, and that's the first Met hit as it skips off the mound.
Bichette trying to time up the fastball, swung and missed, then got the barrel to it last at bat to fly out, and does one better here as he gets a hanging slider. Yeah, I think a week or 7-game suspension for both players handed down just a little bit ago.
Josh Colmenter in our D-backs TV newsroom. Here's Jorge Polanco. They'll appeal. They'll cut it down to what, 3 or 4, something like that.
Particularly for Soler, I think you always go longer for a pitcher. You want to miss 1 turn in the rotation because it's different games wise.
Anybody ever come out there at you? Yeah, I mean, you're throwing axes. Who's going to charge
exactly.
The mound at you?
Ran in from the bullpen, that great one in LA.
Oh, that was the one where Alan Trammell went over, got thrown over the top.
Yeah, I think Turner Ward was penned up against, and Matt Williams and Mark McGuire locking arms with each other.
I remember that. Dodger Stadium. Polanco fouled out his first time. He's the DH again today. There's the cutter. Well, we found out after the game last night and again this morning that all those cutters that Zach Gallen threw were actually sliders, and because of the high winds, Zach was saying that it sort of screws up the computer. So he was throwing a lot of sliders in the game last night. No one's going to get to that too far up the line. But the wind today is, I'd classify it as a gentle breeze compared to the hurricane gale we had here last night. The wind is really a non-issue so far, which is a refreshing change. Not too bad, all things considered. It is colder than yesterday, however, but not nearly as windy.
Given the flag and the flagpole we saw there a break, that thing was standing at attention the entire 9 innings.
Flag's almost still out there in right field. 2-2 on the Met DH, Jorge Polanco. Lazy fly for Tim Tawa in left field. That'll bring up Luis Robert Jr., who struck out in the second. And Josh Colmenter, let's take a look at that at bat. Pitch for pitch.
He struck out looking on a fastball, if you remember last night. Takes a fastball, takes a slider, and then there has no idea what's coming. And takes the second fastball almost right on top of the first one.
I don't see a lot of guys caught looking at the Ryan Nelson fastball. They might chase it upstairs, but that one clearly fooled him. Foul at third. Luis Robert Jr., big dude, 6'2", 225, is still only 28 years old after all those years with the White Sox. And he's been very patient up there. He's walked 10 times against 8 strikeouts so far. And he's been getting on base at about a 470 clip, Luis Robert. He walked twice in the game last night. That's a strike, and it's 0-2. So now does he look at another fastball for strike 3, take a cut?
Nelson has him again right where he wants him.
Just blew it right by him. Ryan Nelson gets the strikeout, and that's 2 outs in the 4th. He's punched out 4.
He had a little wry smile after that first one, like thinking fastball and way out in front of the breaking ball. Then after that, wasn't sure what he was going to get. It's another trip back to the dugout via the strikeout.
Mets have had only 2 base runners against Nelly so far. Beatty reached on an error in the second, and the Bichette base hit that led off this inning. Here's Beatty, who hit a ground ball to first. It was not a great toss from Jose Fernandez, and Nelly couldn't quite corral it. They gave him an E1 on that. But then he got the next 2 batters, struck out Vientos, and got Simeon on a little comebacker. Slider missed, and we got a challenge.
The catcher's challenging the ball call.
Moreno looking to go 3 for 3.
Chris Siegel back there. Here's a look, courtesy of T-Mobile. Wow, I mean that's a fraction of an inch. And Gabby was right. If we know, we go. He's 3 for 3.
Tougher one too. That's a breaking ball. He thought, even though he caught it inside, it must have nicked part of the zone. It sure did.
More successful challenges percentage-wise than any team in the majors, the Diamondbacks. Gabby's been driving the bus on that. High bouncer for Vargas, clanks it, recovers, and Fernandez can't corral the low throw. Looks like Vargy got a little distracted with Bichette going first to second, and he just whiffed it.
Smiling because he can't believe it. He has this one in his glove.
Yeah.
And it's right there on a high hop. That's the one that infielders dream about, the easy high bounce, but
I think that Beatty would have had that throw beat anyway.
yeah, he was hustling it out.
E4 on the board. Second error for the Diamondbacks. 2 on and 2 out for Vientos, one of their hottest hitters. He struck out his first time and lays off the high fastball. Vientos off to a tremendous start. He is 10 for 25 this year as he steps in, and it's conference time at the mound for the entire infield.
It was a great one for Perdomo. Just reminding his pitcher Nelson that, hey, the defense has him. Don't worry about that one to Vargas. Just keep making pitches, and as long as it's anyone other than Brett Beatty, they're making all the plays. Twice he's reached on an error now.
Hard to understate how much and how strongly Perdomo has embraced that leadership role out there. And it's a vital one. He is the quarterback. He's the heart and soul of the ball club.
At such a young age, he has no problem bringing these veteran infielders in together. If he wants to meet, they meet.
Vientos went without a hit yesterday. That snapped a 5-game hit streak for him, during which he'd gone 9 for 18 up there. But he is hitless in the series, 0 for 1 today. Ahead, however, 2 balls and no strikes, with Bichette at second and Beatty at first. Got the 4-seamer by him. Taking a little bit off these pitches. The 97s have become 93s. Not all the time. Can you do something you might do intentionally? Take just a little bit off?
To get in the strike zone, usually he takes it off and it's 94, 95. That one a little bit slower.
Popped up. Here we go again. Fernandez calling for it. Called off by Vargas. And Ildemaro makes sure he's got that one with 2 hands. Nelson strands 2 to the 5th we go. They lead it 5-zip. Field in New York, our progressive player profile on Corbin Carroll, who so far today is 2 for 2 with 2 doubles and 2 RBIs in his 500th career game today. The first player in the history of Major League Baseball with at least 80 homers, 120 stolen bases, and 40 triples in his first 500 games. No one had ever done that before. Amazing.
I feel like he's got a few. He's the only that's done it in X amount of time.
That's right. If you go through the whole list, it can drive you nuts.
At some point, he's going to be tops in a lot of the categories for the D-backs.
Here's one from last year. Since 1901, this is maybe the most amazing one. Since 1901, only Corbin Carroll, Jimmy Rollins, and Willie Mays have a season of at least 30 homers, 30 steals, and 15 triples. There are others with names like Ruth and Gehrig and Greenberg and Musial and DiMaggio that Corbin shares some lists with. 2-2 as Alvarez clanks that slider off the glove.
You're right. You can do it over the course of baseball. You can do it in a number of games. You can do it at age. He was doing things like that so young.
It's amazing. The first 30-30 season in Diamondbacks history last year. 30 homers, 30 steals. 2-2 now. And it's upstairs. And all the agita about the hamate bone and is going to drain his power, and is he going to make it back on opening day, and sure his swing is going to be affected. He's producing. Once more to right. And a leaping catch by Beatty. He got it. First base umpire Eric Backus coming up the line, signaling that's a catch. So a little payback there for the Met defense.
Beatty, the way he went after this, I thought he was going to catch it standing up. I always knew he was going to get there, and the dive at the end to make the catch, and does come up with it cleanly.
Brett Beatty's an interesting guy. They thought for sure that he was going to be the third baseman of the future, the next David Wright, a first-round pick in 2019 out of high school in Austin, Texas. But he has been turned into a super utility job. That's what Carlos Mendoza has told him. You're going to be in that role, and it's a valuable one. And he seems to have embraced it pretty well. Here's Carlos Mendoza, the Mets skipper. His team playing well. They've won 4 in a row. Off to a 7-4 start.
And if you embrace it back, you'll find yourself in the big leagues for a lot longer. You're not resistant to that.
Yeah. Beatty played 100 games at third base for the Mets as a rookie. That was 3 years ago, but since then they've tried him at second. They've tried him at first base, DH. He plays outfield obviously here, so they're moving him all over the field. And Perdomo staying patient, aboard for the second time. He's got a walk, a single, and an RBI sac fly. And it's a 1-out base runner for Gabby Moreno.
Perdomo's eye always amazes me, but he knows this is a ball about halfway to home as he gives up on it.
You're right. Well, that snaps a stretch for Peterson, who had retired 9 consecutive Diamondback batters. Going back to the Corbin Carroll 2-run double in the second. And here is Gabby, who had an RBI sac fly in the first, struck out his last time up. That's a page out of the Ryan Nelson book at 91, however. And it's 0-2.
He's really starting to mix where the fastball, you don't know if it's coming early, if it's coming late. And it's been a lot of that off speed.
Yeah, it's worked wonderfully. That's how he set down 9 straight. They had him on the ropes in the second. Oh, Gabby running at that one and chased it for strike 3. 5 strikeouts for Peterson.
Very uncharacteristic for Moreno, as 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
And he made a decision to swing at that one so late.
That looked like a Yasmani Tomas at that. Nolan Arenado 0 for 2. Perdomo at first. They'll check on him over there. Nolan, couple of hits yesterday, had that go-ahead bloop double in that 3-run 5th. RBIs now in back-to-back games.
For Peterson, this really has to feel like deja vu. Gave up 6 hits, 5 runs in the first 3 innings in San Fran. Does that in the first 2 here, then finally rights the ship. So team's getting to him before he settles into games the last couple times.
Diamondbacks' last hit was that Corbin Carroll double in the second inning. Looking for some length in that Met bullpen with Peterson at 80 pitches, and it's Sean Manaea, the veteran, who's been moved into the bullpen to start the year. Wasn't all that happy about it, frankly. But he's a valuable piece back there. There goes Perdomo. Alvarez, the high throw, and it goes into center. Jerry head first slide. He's up and heading for third as they create some chaos out there. It's a 3-0 count on Arenado.
Surprised Simeon didn't try to bluff a tag. Perdomo sliding in head first. Didn't realize that was into the outfield until after he gets up. Simeon just holds a tag on him. He might think he's got the ball. But that throw, as you can see from that replay, nowhere close.
Alvarez really airmailed that one. RBI chance here for Arenado. Ahead 3-0 with 2 outs. Error on the catcher, Alvarez, obviously. Curveball drops in for strike 2. It was on the high fastball.
That great sound we had with Arenado. He's just trying to grind it out right now, but at home it was a good sign. He was ahead of some fastballs, pulling them foul. He hit some really good ones at the left fielder and the shortstop.
He really wants to get that bat head out front. That's when he says he's at his best, when he can clear some space for those hands to come through, get out in front of the plate, and pull it in the air to left field.
Did that better on the homestand, and some of those breaking balls he's been chasing have now become off the end of the bat hits.
I'm pretty sure they're going to be line drives. Not this time, however. The slider tied him up, so Peterson behind 3-0 comes back to get the strikeout, and it stays 5-zip.
We all know it is a cold one. Temperatures in the 40s and dropping down. And I will tell you guys, though, down here in the Diamondbacks dugout, I'm not too far away. I'm trying to kind of get my hands here. There's a huge heater down there. And the players have been coming in. Ryan Nelson, just before he went out, he kind of put his arm down there, his hand, his right arm. Ketel Marte, who's the DH, he's sitting there, so he's getting a lot of that warm air on the body, keeping himself warm. But it does say it's really strong. And Coley, I don't know if you've been a victim of this. There's a sign that says, don't get too close. It will burn your pants.
Hello.
So you got to be careful. That thing is strong.
Not only will it do that, it'll melt your cleats. I've seen almost anything happen, especially college kids, not that bright.
It'll melt
Stand
your
too
cleats.
close. Oh, yeah. You're trying to warm your feet. All of a sudden, the rubber starts melting.
Slip sliding all over the field. Well, Marcus Semien leads off the inning for the Mets now. Ryan Nelson, 4 scoreless innings. Well, at least Jody's found a spot near that industrial strength heater. That's straight out of Lambeau Field type ice bowl stuff. There she is.
She's picked up a glove and a scarf since the last time we've seen her as well.
Very stylish. Fighting the sun out there. Jorge Barosa drifting over to right center. As we get this from Andrew, the home buyer.
Catch the best deal for your house by calling me, Andrew, the home buyer.
Now 4 1/3 for Ryan Nelson, a 5-0 lead. He's allowed only 1 hit. A leadoff single in the 4th by Bo Bichette. He struck out 4. He's not walked a batter. Here's Carson Bench, who was robbed again by Barosa out there in center. Second time in as many games that Barosa has taken a base hit away from Bench, the rookie, who could really use a hit these days. He is off to a tough start. 3 for 34 to begin his major league career. First round pick out of Oklahoma State. Just 2 years ago. Bench flew up the Mets minor league system last year. Played at 3 different levels. 15 homers, swiped 22 bags, had a .385 on base. Went from A-ball to AA, finished up at AAA Syracuse, and now here he is on the opening day roster. So they obviously think very highly of this young man, rated as their number 2 prospect in the organization. That's the full tour for a Met minor leaguer. You start out in Brooklyn, go to Binghamton, and finish up at Syracuse.
No stop at the Finger Lakes?
There's no time. They keep moving them up.
It's funny. Some teams, I know the Orioles have had that where a lot of their minor league teams were within a couple hours of Baltimore.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But then you'll have teams like the D-backs. They have a bunch on the West Coast now, but they used to have one in Mobile, one in South Bend, one in California,
you
one
were
in Nevada.
You were a Mobile Bay Bear, weren't you?
Oh, yeah.
I remember Brandon Drury used to talk about the Southern League and how batting practice got rained out every day for 6 months.
Get used to hitting in the cage if you're down there. Double headers starting at 9 p.m. just to get games in.
Yeah, that AA team moved to Jackson, Tennessee for a little while. Now, of course, they're in Amarillo, the Sod Poodles, D-backs AA affiliate. 1-2 on Bench. Up high, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gonzo was telling me they built I did not know this, they built a brand new stadium for Hillsborough.
I think they opened it up last night, the home opener.
It's supposed to be spectacular, he says. Slade Caldwell, I'm told by our producer Dan Lonke, got the first hit at a brand new ballpark for the Hops.
Yeah, I think they fell 7-3. Unfortunate for Mark Reed, the manager up there for the 2nd year.
Reeder. Long at bat here for Bench. Full count, 3-2. Another high fly to left for Tim Tawa. Well, took a few pitches, but Nelly got the out. 2 down now for Alvarez.
And the swings off the fastball looking more like we're accustomed to see. Not the balls launched out of here like the 4 homers, but guys still getting beat by a fastball when they're looking for it.
Alvarez grounded out his first time up today. The Met catcher bats 9th. D-backs have out hit New York 6-1. They lead it 5-0, and they got 1 in the first and 4 in the second against David Peterson. And so far, through 4 2/3, Ryan Nelson has allowed only 1 hit. A Bichette single in the 4th, and he's allowed 2 hits. That's on me.
Not expecting the swing on the first pitch slider. He's been able to throw that in there for a strike from time to time, then get to work on the fastball. But the graphic they popped up before, now 51 strikes, only 15 balls. That's impressive command of the zone.
Oh, Alvarez is a pretty lively guy to put in the 9 spot. It's got to feel good for Carlos Mendoza. Lindor 0 for 2 in the leadoff spot. And he cranks one down the line in right. It's in the corner and foul.
Just had to know he was going to time up that fastball. Swung through it the first time, was fouling him off the last at bat. Got to that one, but is going to need a new piece of lumber, I think.
Lindor, including today in his last 8 games, now just 4 for 30. Did have 2 hits in the opener here last night. Ellie coming up on 70 pitches. So far, no walks, 4 punchouts.
Peterson got up to 85, which 11 more than he threw in his opener. He hadn't got to the 80s yet, so I think we're going to see Minaya.
Yeah, Minaya is still warming up down there in the Met bullpen. He can be counted on for some length back there. Did he offer at the curve? He did not, says Brian Honor down there at third. Lindor was the face of the Mets franchise only a couple of seasons ago, but now with the arrival of Juan Soto, who has settled in New York, that seat for Lindor may be a little bit less established. There was some talk about making Lindor a Mets team captain this spring, but the owner Steve Cohen said emphatically no captains. So that was denied. No captain, my captain.
I was thinking the same thing.
Walt Whitman. Sky high, shallow left center. Tawa coming in from left. Way up high. And Ryan Nelson strands that 2-out single. He's through 5 at 70 pitches with a 5-0 lead. Diamondback players 7 through 12 of various skill levels can get some big league treatment with an exclusive on-field instructional camp hosted by a Diamondback celebrity coach. There's Ryan Nelson teaching some youngsters to throw underhand. You can sign up today, dbacks.com/camps. And you see the dates on your screen right there. The Diamondback Celebrity Baseball Camps brought to you by the Window Depot. Veteran left-hander Sean Manaea on to start the top of the 6th inning, his 3rd appearance this year. He was the starter left standing when the musical chairs stopped coming out of spring training. Beginning the season in the bullpen, not too thrilled about it. The plan is, they say, to have him rejoin the rotation as part of a 6-man middle of this month, but he was a little frustrated by that.
The results have been pretty good down there. 1 inning and a 3rd, then 1 over 3 inning appearance, but walked 2 both times. The biggest thing, fastball down a couple miles an hour, averaging under 90.
That's been a problem. Ildemaro Vargas leads it off. The concern for New York this spring likely was that velo for Minaya, which was down considerably from his fully healthy spring training of 2 years ago. But Carlos Mendoza insisted the velo's got nothing to do with it, and that Minaya is going to start for the Mets at some point this year. It's just not right now.
Does make it easy for Torre, lefty coming in, just leave the lineup the same.
Well, they played 10 innings, 3+ hours last night. Mets went through 5 different relievers.
Not often do you have a reliever come in that's similar to the guy that leaves, but that's what you have in Minaya and Peterson.
And Vargas jumps on that one. It's line to left. Benj over to cut it off. Ildemaro puts on the brakes with a big turn. He might have been thinking short double, but Benj got to it quickly. And Ildemaro Vargas is 2 for 3.
Keeps hitting. You can't keep him out of the lineup. He's had 2 great springs. to be part of this club the last 2 years.
I mean, he has been, with the exception of Corbin Carroll, their most productive hitter.
He pulled his hands in so good on that one. He took the top hand off. It was a one-handed swing.
Jose Fernandez now in against the left-hander. And Minaya this spring was pretty vocal, said he considers himself a starter, and not to be that, he said, is frustrating. This is a guy with 2 years and $50 million left on his contract. And here he is in a long relief role. Didn't offer, says Eric Backus down there. He is the Mets' highest paid pitcher, and he did not earn a rotation spot this spring.
And when it comes to pitch usage, a four-seamer around 90, a sinker right around there as well, changeup and a sweeper. So similar look from what Peterson gave them.
He was not healthy last year, had an oblique strain in the spring, kept him out until nearly the All-Star break. He worked only 60 innings for New York last year. 2 balls and a strike on Fernandez. Got under this one. Bichette is under it at third. Back pedals for the out. There's one away.
Slower sweeper. He gets the young rookie way out in front.
Brings up Tim Tawa. Tim, the start in left field against the left-hander today. Had a perfect sacrifice bunt in the second. He's 2 for 15 on the year. Tawa really the one-size-fits-all puzzle piece for the Diamondbacks. You'll see time for a while in the infield and the outfield, they thought, but they've taken Tim out of the first base mix with Luke and Baker up here so he can focus more on outfield play. Gets into this one and backs up Benj. Tawa all the way to the wall, and Benj has it just shy of the wall. Deep on the warning track and left. And Vargas all the way back to the bag at first.
Tim almost gave it a ride. He loves pulling the ball. That's his specialty. And no better pitch to do it than this pitch coming in towards you. Just a little too close to the end of the bat to get all of it.
Tim has really worked all winter long and all spring long on changing his angle of approach with the bat into the zone, so the bat is in the zone a lot longer. And he's starting to make some noise that way. Barrosa, the hitter, now squares up, pulls back, takes a strike. Jorge walked and scored in that big 4-run second, grounded out his last time up. He has been a sensational defender in the outfield in this series. Well, this is something, Josh, that we see, frankly, far too often with the Diamondbacks. They get a big crooked number early, and the offense goes into hibernation. They have 1 hit since the Corbin Carroll 2-run double in the second, and that was the Vargas single we just saw.
It has been a theme early on, and even translating back to last year and the season before.
That stays fair. Backhanded by Bichette. Long throw, and Barrosa is out, they say at first. Let's see if the Diamondbacks want to have a look at this. Torey Lovello waiting for word. He's watching the clock. Jeff Bannister on the phone with Alan Campbell in the video room, and they wave it off. No challenge. So we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Diamondbacks baseball is presented to you by Y-Refi. So far in New York, Ryan Nelson outstanding. 5 scoreless innings of 2 hit ball. Josh, he's struck out 4. He's not walked a batter.
And doing it a lot with the fastball. That was something coming in that was uncharacteristic. 4 hits on the fastball, all home runs. He had just given up 1 other hit, but dominating with that pitch tonight.
70 pitches through 5 for Nelly, 53 strikes.
And look at all those 4-seam fastballs.
I don't know. Maybe he can just throw that. Bo Bichette, who has one of 2 New York hits, leads off the 6th. He led off the 4th inning with a base hit. There's strike 1. That was the hot topic of discussion in Torey Lovello's office this morning, is that he can't be too fastball reliant. And Bichette starting to feel it as a Met. That's his second hit and his second leadoff hit. Just the third hit for New York.
He has taken some of the better swings against Nelson, especially as the game's gone on, at least timing wise.
Well, this is one of the best contact hitters in the game in Bo Bichette.
Did that for a long time in Toronto. Several years where hit over 300.
I mean, they're paying him $126 million for 3 years of work. He can put the bat on the ball. Polanco 0 for 2. He's yet to get going after signing in the offseason. 2 years, $40 million. Polanco had a tremendous postseason with Seattle last year, which helped to pad the bank account. Homered twice off Tarek Skubal in the division series. Had the walk-off hit, of course, that won Game 5 in that set. Sent the Mariners to the ALCS, where they lost to the Blue Jays. He had 26 home runs last year, Polanco, with Seattle, a career high. 3 more in the playoffs. Uh-oh, Rexy, I don't think this one's got the distance. Perdomo's got it. And there's one away in the 6th inning as we check in with our friends at Arizona 529.
Knock it out of the park when saving for your child's future educational needs. Open an AZ 529 education savings plan today at az529.gov.
One out for Luis Robert Jr., who has been baffled by Ryan Nelson fastball so far. He's punched out twice.
You'd almost be better off just swing right here no matter what it is.
You were saying. I mean, he's got Robert. What do we say? He's living in his head rent free.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see just by the look on his face, he's a little flummoxed up there.
And he really has no idea if this one will be slider or fastball.
I was going to say, good chance it's a heater based on the percentages we just saw.
Yeah.
0-2. I think it's at the point where even if he knows fastball, guesses correctly, it might not matter.
It hasn't today. These guys know the fastball's coming, especially as the game's gone on.
And Robert has got off to a terrific start this year. He's not at all struggling up there, but he's been a bit confused here today. Lays off that slider on 0-2.
A few strikeouts thrown in the mix, 4 of them now, but just as many infield pop-ups, so not making great contact on that up fastball, just sending it skyward.
Too far in. 2-2. Pitch number 80 from Ryan Nelson coming up. Bullpen quiet for now for the Diamondbacks. David Peterson gave up 5 earned runs, 6 hits in 5 through 85 pitches. Fellow Oregon Duck Perdomo can't get it. It's under the glove and into center. Hard hit by Robert, and the Mets have something cooking in the 6th. 2 on and 1 out.
But in that Bichette, not that aggressive going to third. And a ball that Barrosa has to range into the gap. And Bichette put the brakes on before he gets to second base and didn't make a very aggressive round at all.
Perdomo with the diving attempt. That was hit pretty hard off the bat of Robert. In fact, it left the bat at 112 miles an hour. And that's why Perdomo couldn't quite get there. That was smoked. So a chance here for the Mets. It's Brett Beatty, who has twice reached on an error, once by Nelson, the other by Vargas at second base. Mets fans with some life. They have 4 hits in the game, 2 of them in this inning. And there's activity now in the Diamondback bullpen. Beatty to center. Barrosa able to keep it in front. Bichette will score the first Met run. It's 5-1.
Bichette more aggressive there. Saw the ball was going to be down. Barrosa did a great job.
Yeah.
And just to keep it in front of him, because
Absolutely.
he sprints in at this pitch. And if that gets underneath him or by him,
it's a nightmare.
Yeah, it is. Watch this, sprinting in and just stops it with his body.
There's about 100 yards of grass behind him at that point. And that would have been catastrophic. Ryan Kaplan out to the mound. The bullpen gets busy as they start to make some noise for the first time today against Ryan Nelson, who's at 81 pitches in the 6th inning.
After all those fastballs, finally catching up to a couple. That one a little under 93, so much easier to handle than those earlier ones at 95 and 96.
Ryan Thompson warming up in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. Saw Ryan work in the game here yesterday. He was outstanding. We'll see if Nelly can get himself out of this. A run home, 1st and 2nd, 1 out. The batter is Mark Vientos, is 0 for 2.
Vientos hasn't handled the fastball, but these Mets hitters in this inning getting onto it a little more.
Vientos hitless in the series. Breaking ball lands for a strike. Robert the runner at second. Beatty at first. A run home for New York. They shade Jorge in center, a couple of steps over toward right. Tawa pretty much straight away in left. So there is some room in left center right now for Vientos. There it is. Ball and a strike. Swing and a miss. That's the slider, and boy, that was a beauty.
2 really good ones in this at bat. The first one for a strike. This one for a big swing and miss.
Be aggressive in the zone with all 4 of your pitches. That was the message from Torey Lovullo today. Fastball up and in. Didn't offer, says Eric Backus. It's 2-2.
He's got him out both times on this pitch coming up right here. Once a swing and miss, and once an easy infield fly.
85 pitches and counting. Misses the 2-2. Back to the heater. Strikeout number 5 for Nelson, and out number 2 in the 6th.
He climbs down the ladder. He climbed the ladder. The first one goes down in the zone with that one, and here comes the skipper.
He's got Thompson warming up. Semien will be the hitter. So Ryan Nelson at 86 pitches through 5 2/3 has been outstanding here today. And he is about to leave, responsible for 2 base runners, holding a 5-1 lead back from Citi Field in New York after this short break. This final out in the 6th inning. 6 appearances for Ryan so far. He worked a scoreless 6th here yesterday against the Mets and retired all 3 batters he faced on only 8 pitches. A run home for New York. Luis Robert Jr. at second. Brett Beatty at first. 2 down, and the batter is going to be the veteran Marcus Semien. Ryan Nelson was outstanding here today. Hopefully he can come out of here with a W. And the D-backs can even this series at a game apiece, get back to 500. Semien 0 for 2.
And couldn't have a opposite arm coming in after Nelson.
It's quite a contrast to the Peterson-Manaea combo that the Mets have from the left side. Basically the same guy. Sinker's a strike, and there's a challenge from Semien. Chris Siegel, the plate umpire.
Batter's challenging the strike call.
Semien thinks this one was sinking too far down and in. We'll find out.
T-Mobile tells us that he was right. Mets win the challenge. Trying to get back into this one. Pick your spot. Semien knew he was right, and he flips the count 1-0 with 2 runners on, down 5-1. Semien is still without a hit in this series. He had hit safely in 4 straight going into yesterday's game. Acquired from the Rangers in November in a deal that sent longtime Met outfielder Brandon Nimmo to Texas. Robert at second and Beatty at first. 3 hits in this inning for New York.
In the air to left. Tawa on a run near the line. Tim is under it. He's got it. And Ryan Thompson strands 2. Mets get 1. Ryan Nelson in the books. After 6, it's 5-1 Diamondbacks. Smiles in a chilly Diamondback dugout for Ryan Nelson, who looked terrific today. 1 run, 5 hits, 5 2/3. Did not walk a batter, punched out 5. And he's hanging on to a 5-1 lead now as we start the 7th.
Much better. There's going to be a happy medium. You don't have to throw 75% fastballs, but somewhere, say around 62 like he did last year, that seemed to work out.
Ketel Marte in the leadoff spot. Ketel had an RBI single in that 4-run Diamondbacks second. The problem today has been since that second inning, they have only 1 hit. That Vargas single in the 6th. Offense has dried up. Ryan Nelson has carried the ball to get him into the late innings here. Out in front of the sweeper from Sean Manaea. And it's 1-2 on Marte. Corbin Carroll on deck, then Geraldo Perdomo. Big 3 start the 7th.
And don't have to sit on velocity here. Just got to keep your hands back for some of the slower off speed.
Which is probably a lot harder to do than it sounds.
Because they're so geared up and see velocity so frequently that when you throw significantly under the hitting speed, that gives guys a little more problem.
Left that out over the plate, but Marte couldn't connect. Alvarez got the brunt of that one. And a fastball at 90 fouled away. Warm down with a sweeper. And Manaea has set down 4 in a row. Brings up Corbin Carroll, who's had a terrific day. Doubles in his first 2 at bats. He has scored a run. He's knocked in 2. In his 500th career game, nearly got his tower rung there against Peterson. Bounces back with this double off the wall and left. It's our Chaz Roberts air conditioning and plumbing pool plays of the game. Then a 2-run double the next inning.
First at bat, so impressive. Flipped himself over right back, the same pitch, down and in, and he was all over it.
That one rolls fair. It bounces up the line. Go, Corbin, go. Beatty's got it in the corner. Corbin Carroll, helmet flying off, chugs into third with another triple. That's his 3rd this year. He has doubled twice and tripled in his 500th game.
Should play on milestones a little more often. What a performance, and thank goodness on this one. Watch when he gets around second base. You know, that helmet has a tendency to fall off, and it gets caught on his leg. Watch this. He kicks it.
Oh, my goodness.
And thank goodness that's all he did.
He is a special player. Perdomo with a chance to pick up a run now. Just their 2nd hit since the 2nd inning. And Corbin today 3 for 4 with 3 extra base hits. RBI spot for Jerry. One more look at the Corbin Carroll show. Home to 3rd.
And doesn't blink when that happens. Thank goodness it didn't get tangled between his feet.
Infield in for the Mets. See if Perdomo can just punch it through. He's had a good day at the plate, Jerry. A single in the 1st. RBI sac fly in the 2nd. Walked and stole the base in the 5th. Here's a look at the Met infield. Bichette even with a bag at 3rd. Jerry not going to bite out there. It's 3-1. Chance for another big inning here. Just 1 out. They've out hit the Mets 8-5. They lead it 5-1. '89 on the 4-seam fastball.
You may wonder how that still jams a guy. You're still sitting at his fastball velocity. You don't sit 95 for a guy throwing 90, because then you would have no chance against the breaking stuff.
Scoops it very short left. Bench coming in. Corbin is going to have to stay put. Just way too close. Couldn't get it quite deep enough even for Corbin to score on that one. That's out number 2.
Flipped in a few of these slow sweepers, the same pitch that got Marte, and Perdomo tries to stay back as much as he can, but just doesn't have enough to get it out deep. Kind of an all-arm swing.
Chance for Gabby. Drove in that only run in the first with a sacrifice fly. Struck out in the second and the 5th against Peterson. Now in there for the first time against Sean Manaea. That's a strike call there by Chris Siegel. One more game to go here in New York. That will go off as scheduled. The night game. 7 o'clock start here, 4 o'clock in Arizona. A rematch of the WBC title game as Erod takes on Nolan McLean. How about that? Those were the 2 starters in the championship game in Miami. And boy, that's going to be a performance we'll always remember about Eduardo Rodriguez. And he has been just as good as the Diamondbacks since we got going.
Carried right over into the season.
Sure did. Well, that's kind of been the vibe now about the WBC, is that the games are so intense as you get into that later rounds. It kind of makes the players pick up their game. They're sort of extra ready for the regular season because of the intensity of those games.
Significantly more intense than a spring training, or
yeah.
Some of these guys pitch on the backfields. There's no intensity there.
2-2. And be out in front of that sweeper. I mean, this is you're talking what, maybe 3 weeks ago they dueled in the championship game. McLean for Team USA and Erod for the eventual champion Venezuelan team. He was so brilliant. 1 hit, 4 1/3, just outstanding. So they're matched up again tomorrow. Alvarez couldn't hang on to the foul tip. It's still 2-2. Going to get Corbin home from third. You'll take every run you can get here.
3 straight off-speed pitches, including 2 changeups. Hadn't seen that from him this inning. It's all fastball sweeper.
Look out, J.R. House. Quick feet down there at third. Andrew Hoffman has started warming up at the Diamondback bullpen. There's J.R. down there inside the coach's box. That's what the rules say. Got to be between the lines.
Not too far away from taking a corner kick either. The soccer line's down there.
The throw in or something. There's Andrew Hoffman. He's not pitched since that first game against Atlanta last week. And it looks like he'll get the home half of this inning. Long at bat here by Gabby, trying to get Corbin Carroll home from third base. And again out in front of a sweeper. Can't hang back on that pitch. Gabby was on base all night last night. He walked, single, double, got hit by a pitch. 0 for 2 with an RBI so far today. Now that's the second time, Josh, that he's chased that pitch out there. And they strand the Corbin Carroll triple. We stretch in New York. It's still 5-1.
The telecast is presented by authority of the Arizona Diamondbacks and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Welcome back to Citi Field in New York. Steve Berthiaume, Josh Colmenter, Jody Jackson here. A little chilly, but enjoying a 5-1 lead. Not nearly as windy as it was here last night, which is good news considering the hairdo under Andrew Hoffman's cap, his 4th appearance of the year. He has yet to give up a run. He's not pitched since last Thursday, so it's been a bit here for Andrew. That was the opener against the Braves at Chase Field, and
Jody Jackson was talking with Torrey in his office today about Andrew Hoffman's role, and Torrey said, well, we think maybe some more length here from Hoffman.
Certainly with the downtime, he'll be fresh for that, and wouldn't be surprised with a 4-run lead if he's out here for multiple.
Carson Benj, the rookie, starts off the New York 7th. The thing with Hoffman is he's got to be in the zone a little bit more often. He's always looking for a chase with that terrific changeup, but he has walked 4 batters in 3 appearances so far, but still has not given up a run. Big tall kid at 6'5". And it's got mid-90s heat with that fastball. It's 1-1.
Takes that big long stride too, so it jumps on the hitters a little more, even though it has good velocity to it already.
They have worked on finding some type of breaking ball as a reliable third pitch for Hoffman. But he is always going to be mostly fastball change, and oftentimes leading with that terrific change, which has always been his signature pitch.
Just saw the Mets last night. Their 2 top relievers, Luke Weaver and Devin Williams, are fastball changeup. It's becoming more and more popular.
Devin Williams had a good one for a long time. Andrew, originally a 12th round pick by Atlanta back in 2021 out of Illinois. Acquired by the Diamondbacks from Kansas City at the trade deadline, or just before it last year, in a deal for Randall Grichuk. That's the changeup, and that's why everybody is so excited about Andrew Hoffman.
He loves throwing it and has a good feel for it already. Has for all his time in the major leagues, and really splits those first 2 fingers and allows him to throw it hard and just let the grip take the miles an hour off.
Just kind of tumbles up there too. Alvarez bats 9th, the catcher.
That's a prominent one with velocity, guys. Call it kind of a split change. So instead of really getting a circle on it like that, you just kind of split your fingers and you can throw it so hard.
All right, I'm going to have you do a demo after this pitch as I direct the show from up here. They love that in the truck, but go ahead.
Yeah, so a lot of times guys throw a circle change. You make a circle with this part of your hand and you lead with that, throw it, it gets a little tumbling action. But if you just kind of split your fingers or kind of get like a trident grip on it with the 3 fingers, then it's kind of a split change, and so you see coming out of his hand when it's this way, that creates that tumbling, so it's not quite a splitter and it's not quite a changeup, it's somewhere in between.
Behind on Alvarez, 2-0. And then the more recent trend, can I get you to do that one more time, is when the guys throw with the kick change.
Yeah, so
where they spike that finger, right?
Yeah, you'd think of it in this grip like a Zach Gallen breaking ball, but instead you bring this finger up and then you're just throwing it with these 2 fingers on the side, so you're just taking a little bit off of it and really getting it to take off that way.
How do you guys keep all that straight? I'm constantly amazed. And you can get that grip in the glove without telling everybody what you're doing. It's amazing.
I think most guys, if you have a weird grip, you start with that one.
Yeah, we see that with split finger guys a lot. Yeah,
that way it looks like that, and then you're always changing to something else.
Alvarez out in front of the changeup and pulls it foul.
And in that split finger changeup, guys, it's cold today, but some will wear the sleeves so you can't tell they're digging in or changing anything with their forearm. Yeah, look at that grip right there.
Got to be tough on this cold day. Slider, that's the 3rd pitch that they've been working on. They're looking for some kind of usable, workable breaking ball he can have as a 3rd pitch to go with a fastball change combo. They're gripping that thing like death. His fingers are going white. Full count, 3-2. Alvarez stays patient as Hoffman misses with a fastball. This is the kind of the chink in the armor here for Andrew. You want to just be in the zone a little bit more often, cut down on these free passes.
That's exactly right. You work on that 3rd pitch, and it's tougher to do when you're at the big league level, but got to be in the zone, especially if you want to be a high leverage reliever. They can't have you coming in and walking guys.
Yeah, especially number 9 hitters ahead of guys like Francisco Lindor. And Bo Bichette behind him. Gabby finds it, keeps it in front. Alvarez stays at first.
There's that tumbling action you were talking about.
Well, it's when you see it in slow motion that
Yeah,
you really get an idea of how much it's kind of going up and down on a bumpy road.
He's kind of throwing that split, almost kick change too, they call it. He's spiking the middle finger to take something off it and really get tumbling action.
That's become a very popular pitch in the last couple of years. I guess it just kind of gets a different action on the pitch. Lindor 0 for 3. Slammed to right. Corbin Carroll has got it, the sinking liner for out number 2.
As good a ball as the Mets have hit. I mean, line drive into the outfield. It's been a lot of singles, only singles so far.
Bichette has squared up 2 of them. He's 2 for 3 singles in his last 2 at bats. He's got Alvarez at first and 2 down. Bichette had a very rough first series here against the Pirates to start the season. The Boo Birds were out, but he has now hit safely in 6 of his 7 games this month. And the hits are starting to pile up. Signed here in January and said he doesn't think really anything can prepare you for New York. And he was not unaware, he said, that playing here can be a challenge. He's not shying away from it. Andrew ahead 0-2. Polanco on deck. Doesn't chase the fastball.
And the strikeouts, not typically Bichette, a contact guy. That's what he's known for. No doubt what they signed him for.
He is a bat on ball type of player. Hit .311 for the Blue Jays last year. Drove in 94 runs. Had an .840 OPS and missed the final 3 weeks of the season, you might recall, with a left knee sprain. Kept him out of the Division Series and the ALCS. Came back for the World Series. Drove in 6 runs in 7 games against the Dodgers, coming off that knee problem. Late on the fastball, Hoffman gets a big strikeout there. He punched out 2 in a scoreless 7th and guesses to the 8th. Diamondbacks looking to get to 500 and even this series, and they lead the Mets 5-1 after 7. 15 or more all season long. Get all the information on available seating options for group discounts at dbacks.com/groups. Just gather up, 15 of your closest friends. All your college buddies, Girl Scout troop, whatever you want.
Whoever your troop is.
Bring your Weeblo badge and come on down. Bring us some Thin Mints while you're at it. Nolan Arenado 0 for 3 starts off the game. Sean Manaea out there for his 3rd inning of work in relief of David Peterson. Diamondbacks have out-hit the Mets 8-5, but of those 8 hits, only 2 have come since the 2nd inning. Ryan Nelson has made that early 5-0 lead stand for the most part, and here we are, 8th inning. A chance to get back to 500 at 6-6, and even this series up at a game apiece. The second of 9 games in 9 days out here on the East Coast in 3 cities. 1 more in New York. And 3 in Philadelphia over the weekend, then 3 at Baltimore next week before we get to go back home. Or hopefully it'll be a little warmer. Nolan hits a soft pop up to 3rd, but Bichette is under it over there. And that's the first out of the 8th inning as we check in with the comic stylings of Tim Hovick and Santan Ford.
You ever trade a guy for parking in your spot?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Thought about it, though.
Who hasn't?
Oh, you're pulling in there with your Santan Ford and somebody's in your spot. Call Hovick. He'll have the guy towed.
Yeah, heaven forbid you drive something other than a Ford. You're out of there, no problem.
That's right. Ildemaro Vargas has once again been in the thick of things here today. 2 singles and a run scored. Vargas the start at second base. Marte is the DH today. Ildemaro to center. Robert coming in, and he did not make the sliding catch. That's a trap, and it's a base hit. The 3rd today for Ildemaro Vargas. Last Diaz ran out there and said safe. It dropped in front.
Tries stealing this one. Foot first slide, and if he doesn't catch it, just impressive. He's able to trap it.
Oh,
that one might be worth a second look.
Yeah, that's awfully close.
See, does the glove get underneath it?
No.
No.
Well, that's about as close as you can get. I don't blame Robert for thinking he had that one. That was real close. A 3-for-4 day for Vargas, and Jose Fernandez is at it again. Vargas will stop at second, and Fernandez has his second hit, the first baseman today.
Finally able to make some contact with these. He's sinking balls one way and then sweeping them into the righties. And he just sunk this one right down the middle. Greeted about 100-mile-an-hour hit by Fernandez.
Try 107.
Yeah, impressive.
That's like the way he hit the ball all spring training. Triple-digit exit velocities. Tawa had a sac bunt in that 4-run second. He's 0 for 2. Vargas at second base. Fernandez at first. See if Tim can join the hit parade. Diamondbacks now have out hit the Mets 10-5. See Tim Tawa up there with his hands. He's worked a lot on his hand position, trying to get the bat coming in at a better angle. He thought it was too steep last year, not making solid contact this way. He used to have a big waggle up there. Now the bat is quiet, and he's more set in his stance up there before the pitch. He's told me it's all about the placement of the hands. He felt that angle was just too steep last year. A little more athletic this way. 3-0. And Tawa's aboard. They've loaded the bases with 1 out for Barossa. As Manaea is starting to get a little wobbly out there. Alvarez out to the mound. There's no activity in the Met bullpen as of yet. And this is the pitching coach for New York, Justin Willard.
Last couple at bats, the singles, he hasn't had that kind of action against him. Everything he flips up there has been pretty good so far. Now he's in quite a jam.
Well, we go off to Philadelphia and Baltimore after this. As we mentioned, when we finally do get back home, look who'll be waiting. It's Vlad Jr. and the American League champion Toronto Blue Jays. A 4-game set starts at Chase Field April 17th. Don't miss your chance to come on down, see Vlad Jr. and those Toronto Blue Jays. Get your tickets for the matchup at dbacks.com. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Those Blue Jays finally got through against LA today in the 3rd of that. They dropped the first 2.
They just lost their catcher, Alejandro Kirk, to I believe it's thumb surgery, right? He's going to be out a while. It's a big loss for them. Barossa 0 for 2. He walked and scored in the second.
You've been talking about it since that second inning. Where's the offense gone? Well, they have a chance here.
It's a pattern that comes up too often. But they can break that pattern right here. You're right. The sweeper did not offer. Eric Backus down at first. Ball and a strike on Jorge. Vargas, Fernandez, Tawa. Your runners 3rd to 1st. Sweeper's in there, and it's 2-1 inside. I mean, 2 balls and a strike. Now up over 50 pitches. Their bullpen still quiet.
if he's going to go in the rotation, the chance for him to get his pitch count up, outings like this.
Well hit off the bat of Barossa. Robert backing up, way backing up, and it's off the glove. Here we go. Vargas will score. They wave Fernandez. Tawa chugging into third. They'll stop there as Barossa drives in 2 off the glove of Robert in center.
Who the entire time didn't think that ball was hit as well as it was. He drifted back there instead of sprinting. And at the last second, we're going to see what happens here. Well hit. He just kind of moseying over there. And then finally realizes how deep it is.
They score this a double for Barossa. 2 runs batted in. Make it 7-1. So Jorge Barossa having a terrific series here, both with the glove and the bat. And a chance for Ketel to tack on 2 more. A double for Barossa goes off the glove of Luis Robert.
Second time for a crooked inning, and wouldn't you know it, all started with those guys at the bottom of the lineup.
That's the magic formula when you've got the big 3 up top.
See Marte do something good here with the slow changeup and sweeper have been giving him fits.
Trying to hang back. Has to protect on 0-2. Ketel had an RBI single in that 4-run second. He's 1 for 4. Tawa's at third base. Barossa's at second. Infield at medium depth for the Mets. Still just 1 out. They've out hit New York 11-5. They lead at 7-1. Carlos Mendoza's team has won 4 in a row, but they're on the wrong side of this score. Marte pops it up in front of the mound. Bichette comes in for out number 2, and here comes Corbin Carroll, who has had a tremendous day.
After Minaya got the first strike, it was all slow stuff. You could tell, really frustrating Ketel. Slow and then slower and slower. Finally got him to pop up.
Corbin has doubled twice and tripled. He has scored a run. He's knocked in 2 in his 500th career game today. And that triple was the 46th of his career. He is now tied with David Peralta for second on the Diamondbacks all-time triples list. The leader is Stephen Drew with 52 triples. Corbin now number 2. We're tied for second. Thought about it, really couldn't decide. By then it was too late.
If he just has an average triples year for him,
well,
he'll be on top of that in no time.
For sure. It's even with a freight train on that list. Line to right. And the sinking liner ends up at the glove of Beatty. Diamondbacks able to tack on 2 more. On Barossa's 2-run double, they lead at 7-1. Ryan Nelson, final batter he faced in the ball game of the 6th inning. Got Mark Vientos for the 2nd time.
And moving the ball all around. You see none of these pitches.
Wow.
Back to back, climbing the ladder, then climbing back down.
And this is Ryan Nelson with those 4-seam fastballs today. 10 fly ball outs on that heater. 3 for 16 against the fastball.
And he limited them to only singles, and a lot of those flyouts were easy pop-ups and even on the infield.
Ryan Thompson came on after that Vientos strikeout, got Semien to fly out to win the 6th. Hoffman 2 strikeouts and 3 outs in the 7th. Back out there face Polanco now as we start the 8th, and what is a 7-1 ball game. Polanco 0 for 3. Diamondbacks working on holding a lead. They were not able to do that last night, as the bullpen had another bump yesterday. That's a strike. Yesterday was the 4th time in their 6 losses the Diamondbacks have lost a lead. But they've padded the lead here tonight and now lead it 7-1 in the 8th. This is well struck to right. Corbin Carroll in front of the warning track. It's a cold day in New York and the ball is not carrying.
You got to hit it on a line if you want to get it anywhere. Carroll do that. Lindor was able to get it over Carroll's head yesterday, and same with the walk-off hit. But hitting up in the air, it's not going anywhere.
Wind not really a factor. It's been fairly gentle, certainly compared to yesterday's howling winds. It was well over 20-mile-an-hour winds here. Swirling, freezing cold. Not so bad here tonight. There's a little harmless bouncer to short. Perdomo gobbles that up close at first, and Fernandez can't make the catch. Jose Fernandez learning first base, far from a finished product over there. He's pretty much a career shortstop, and they can't get the out.
Took Perdomo a half second to get it out of his glove.
Yeah, that was kind of a sinking line drive on this throw.
See him trying to get the grip, but if it gets there in the air, you got to come up with that.
If you got a new first baseman down there, you got to give him a little bit more than that.
The only thing you can really say about these D-backs is dropped a couple in the field today. Everything else has been exactly how they drew it up.
Nelson had an error in the second on a toss that was a little off from Fernandez. Lamaro Vargas very uncharacteristically booted a routine ground ball in the 4th at second base. Waiting for scoring on this one. They score that a base hit. A single for Roberts, so no error on the play.
Even though that goes as a single, I think everyone on that D-back infield knows that's an out. Perdomo's blowing air into his hand, no doubt trying to get a better feel for the next one.
Well, that was your point, Josh. On a cold day like this, you talk about gripping the baseball, and it's what, it's 6:35 in the evening here local time. It looked like he just couldn't get a grip on it in his glove.
It took him a while, and then too, that your hands dry, the ball's dry. There's a good chance it slips out.
3-0 fastballs in there to Brett Beatty. It's 42. Feels colder.
The real feel all day has been a few more than the registered temperature.
It's way better than last night. I mean, not even close. That wind was ridiculous last night. That's trouble. It's headed for the right field corner. Robert on the run. Little stutter step around second. Beatty into second. They stop Robert at third. And the Mets, with 1 out, have 2 in scoring position. Beatty's second consecutive hit.
They finally log an extra base hit, all singles up to this point. And of course, that would follow that play that should have been 2 outs in the inning.
Naturally.
That's where those insurance runs, a lot of times you call them, come in handy. Those 2 runs they got in the top of the 8th.
And down 7-1. Tim Leeper not going to get Robert thrown out at home, so they put the brakes on at third. Beatty's got the double. Viento's the hitter. He's 0 for 3 with 2 punch outs against Nelson, and is still hitless in this series. No activity in the Diamondback bullpen. Quiet back there. Lifted to right. Corbin's under it. Robert at third. Corbin coming in, and Robert coming home. Throw is cut off by Fernandez. Play at third as they try to get Beatty down there, and he sneaks in at 7-2.
Beatty reading the throw, and once he saw it a little bit high out of Carroll's hand, even though he got it to the cutoff man, took off. And a nice play by Arenado that won't show up at all in the scorebook, but knocked that ball down on a short hop from Fernandez.
So the Mets get one back. They have Beatty at third base now with 2 outs for Marcus Semien, who's 0 for 3. Semien hit in 4 straight games in their 4-game series at San Francisco over the weekend, but he is without a hit in this series. 0 for 4 last night, 0 for 3 so far today. Beatty at third, 2 outs, a run home for New York. Right to Fernandez, and Hoffman is able to get them 6 outs. Mets get one back, 7-2 as we go to the 9th at Citi Field.
A milestone for the Diamondback star Corbin Carroll today, his 500th career Major League game, and he celebrates in the style. He doubled and scored in the first, had a 2-run double in the second as he splits the gap right there. Tripled in the 7th, his 3rd triple this year, tying David Peralta for 2nd on the Diamondbacks all-time list. 3 extra base hits, 2 RBIs, and a run scored for Corbin in game number 500. He's helped get us to a 7-2 lead in the 9th inning. They've out-hit the Mets 11-7. And Geraldo Perdomo starts off the 9th against left-hander Sean Manaea.
He continues his good hitting ways, and the rest of the team picked it up with him as well.
It's nice to see a bit of a breakout game for the Diamondbacks, certainly offensively. 3 runs, 9 hits last night. Today, 7 runs, 11 hits. There is some activity in the Diamondback bullpen. I wondered if they might try to get Hoffman the 3-inning save and stretch him out a little bit more, but there's someone throwing down there. It looks like Taylor Clark from back here. And there's the 4-pitch walk to Perdomo. And there is Taylor Clark, who will apparently get the 9th.
A late decision, so they must have been talking about it in the bullpen or in the dugout.
That was a topic with Torrey today, yeah, about stretching Hoffman out to try to get more length out of him. It's a cold day. You got you 6 outs. You're up 7-2.
Throw him another inning, he's probably down an extra day.
Yeah.
And you got 7 more in a row coming.
No off days on this trip. 9 games in 9 days, 3 cities. Good job by Andrew. Picked up 2 strikeouts, had a walk, gave up 2 hits and a run. Gabby's been out in front of everything today.
And especially against Manaea, who has the...
It's another stinger.
Yes, shaking it out. You get anything not on the barrel on these cold nights and rattles you to your bones. So this is a changeup, and look at Moreno out in front off the end of the bat, and that vibrates all the way through.
Everybody bundled up here. It's going to get into the 30s for sure, if we're not there already. But the wind, thankfully, has not been a factor today. Died down considerably compared to last night. They asked Freddie Peralta, the Mets starter, about pitching in those conditions last night. He said it was crazy and uncomfortable. He was not a fan, understandably. Sky to right, under it is Brett Beatty. And Beatty's got it for the out. Well, I know what'll warm me up. Yoga on the field. That's coming back to Chase Field on Sunday, April 19th. And get access to a pregame yoga class. This has become one of our most popular events. We do it a couple of times a year now. The turnout's been so great. And we'll also give you, in addition to a game ticket, this pretty awesome D-backs Ranchero cap. dbacks.com/yoga. That date again Sunday, April 19. Lindor for 1. Semien able to turn it off the bat of Arenado. And that gets us to the bottom of the 9th inning. Taylor Clark warming up. 7-2 Diamondbacks. Down by that heater in the Diamondback dugout. She's all set to bring you the post-game show. Brought to you by Casino Arizona, Talking Stick Resort. Josh Coleman and I will be up here. Give you the full game recap if you've missed anything here. Diamondbacks looking to close out a 7-2 lead as Taylor Clark is on to work the bottom of the 9th inning. There's the Jody Jackson heater, which is not her fastball. It's just the thing that she uses to stay warm. 6th appearance for Taylor Clark. He's been a solid addition to this Diamondback bullpen in his return to Arizona. Pretty good job there by Andrew Hoffman. Got him 6 outs, and we wanted to see Andrew be in the strike zone more. 33 pitches, 20 strikes, so not bad.
The 1 walk, the only one by D-backs pitchers today, and it probably doesn't even give up that run if Perdomo can get that ball to Fernandez.
Yeah, no doubt. Carson Benj, the rookie, 3 for 36 to start his major league career. 0 for 3 today. Taylor Clark has made 4 consecutive scoreless outings. He pitched both on Saturday and Sunday and wins over the Braves. And over those 2 games, retired all 7 batters he faced. He was terrific. Roll to right field. It's between Fernandez and Vargas, and Benj is aboard. Just his 4th hit this year. That's been a long time coming for the 23-year-old rookie.
Bluffed bunt and brought Arenado in and pulled that sinker.
Yeah.
He hit it on the ground, and Barossa can't make a diving catch on you.
That's true. Benj had gone without a base hit in 6 consecutive games, so that ends a pretty long dry spell. Alvarez, who's been a thorn in the side as their 9 hitter, has singled and walked today. 1 for 2. And then you got some of the big boys coming up behind him. Slider lands for a strike. Alvarez had that single in the 5th that made it a 5-game active hitting streak for him after he walked and singled in last night's game. Sinker's a miss. Ball 2.
Just get a sinker at the bottom of the zone. You can get Alvarez to put this thing on the ground, pick up 2 outs.
Remember, Benj runs extremely well down there at first. He's trying for that ground ball, but he keeps missing with a sinker. Alvarez won't bite. And after the single to Benj, it's 3-1 on the number 9 man, who's already walked once tonight. Walked against Hoffman in the 7th. Ouch. That thing came in to eat. Too cold for that. Way too cold for that.
Laid off those ones down and in, but made up his mind he was swinging there, and that hit ball 4 right out of Gabby's mitt.
That thing had that run on it that Zach Gallen likes to talk about with his 2-seamer. There's your ground ball. Arenado starts it at 3rd. Vargas turns it. Taylor Clark was determined to get that ground ball double play, and he hung in there and got it. Arenado starts it from 3rd base.
A slider, no less, to throw that 3-2. A lot of confidence. Arenado's so good at throwing on the run. Doesn't matter the base. You want it at 1st, I'll get it to you. You want it at 2nd. All right, here you go, Vargas. And puts it on the money.
Last man standing for New York, Francisco Lindor, 0 for 4. Batting average for Lindor now down to 152. There's the strike with a changeup. Big pitching matchup tomorrow, a rematch of the World Baseball Classic championship game. It was Eduardo Rodriguez for Venezuela, Nolan McLean for Team USA, and they will hook up again here tomorrow night with you at
4 o'clock back home in Arizona. Night game as scheduled tomorrow. Even though the weather is basically the same as it's supposed to be right now. So, but we'll take what we can get here. Much better weather conditions today. Colder, but the wind has really not been a factor. Good change up from Taylor. It's 2-2.
Dropped the slider into Alvarez, thinking he's just going to get a fastball, and the change up there. Clark's got a good out pitch to both sides of the plate.
Change up sailed away, full count. Bo Bichette would be next. He has 2 of the Mets' 8 hits today. There's Bichette riding a screen on deck. Here's the 3-2 to Francisco Lindor. For the Mets, this loss would snap a 4-game winning streak. And their first loss since they went without Juan Soto, who's on the injured list with that calf strain. Rubber game of the 3-game set for Carlos Mendoza tomorrow. And then we're off to Philly for the weekend. 3-2. Lindor not going quietly. Mets had scored 26 runs in their previous 36 innings to jump well over 500, but the offense has been kept in check here today. Bounced over the mound. Perdomo at the second base bag. He's got it. Taylor Clark gets 3 outs, and the Diamondbacks get back to 500. They beat it at 7-2.
An all-around performance. They only gave up 1 extra base hit. Great pitching performance. You get staked to that lead, you just get outs. That's what this pitching staff did.
2 stars today. Ryan Nelson on the mound gets his first win. 1 run in 5 2/3, and what a day for Corbin Carroll. 2 doubles and a triple in his 500th career game. He'll talk to Jody Jackson live right after this break.